have a chance to try out the Midwest? Did they bring that stuff to them?
Not last year, but the year before, when the guy from Allen Park was doing it, who actually moved down and started selling fire trucks, he brought a set out for the guys to check and test out.
So they remember what it was like and then they compared it to this.
So they didn't just see a picture, but I mean, if you even look at the picture where the battery was, it was like right next to where somewhere you're going to be opening a door, it's just going to get caught. To me, it didn't look like a very good design.
Well, I think the guys know more about the equipment than we do. I mean, they're going to know.
Well, that's what I told them. I said, if you can come up with some, reasonable explanations that I can try to explain, I have no problem doing that, and that's why I'm up here, because I thought their explanations and some of their reasons that were important. So.
Chief, I just got one more question. You're talking about being able to switch out batteries. Is it like a cordless drill type battery? You know, you can take, okay, so it's a charged one. It's nothing that has to be wrenched on or any of that, okay.
There you're charging back for the one, but you're using the other one if that went, for some reason.
Just hop in, hop out, okay.
And another thing is that these tools are so much lighter than what we're using now. It's unbelievable for anything that you're using with anything too. The new technology is way for the cheapest thing.
Any more questions? Okay, we'll go on to number 10. Item number 10, motion to approve amending the 2018 winter special assessment roll by removing $870 in weed special assessment charges from 9786 Princess for the attached documents. Mr. Martin.
Thank you, Chairman and Council. The next three items, and we'll address them one at a time, are dealing with special assessments that were on the winter 2018 tax roll. The taxpayer came in and questioned the grass cutting charges that were on the amount. We reached out to Matt Bonza and Keith Bach and to work with them to determine if the cuts should be removed at the taxpayer's request. And each one we have a nice write-up from Matt that we included in our remarks to council. But the ends of being the contractor did not supply the proper picture to demonstrate that they actually cut the grass. And so therefore the city of Taylor removed those charges from what they paid the vendor for total of cuts. And therefore now that we're requesting that same charge be removed from the winter tax bill. The city did not make any money on these cuts at all.
You know they, so we're questioning if they even did the cuts, is that what we're saying? And if so, did the vendor get paid for work?
Mr. Chairman, I believe the cuts occurred, however, they did not follow the required protocol. So they're required to take a before picture showing the grass height and an after picture. And I believe that's the issue, that they did not follow that required protocol. They were not paid, but if I could confirm with Matt, they did, we believe they cut it or did not cut it?
We believe they cut it.
But they just didn't take the photo?
Documentation to show that they did do it. So we took that out of future invoice books. We did not do it.
And I believe that's true for the next couple of items, Jerry?
Correct, Mayor. Yes, it is.
So, Mr. Chairman, if I could elaborate a little bit more. In the event that we have to go to court on any of these tickets, we do require them to take a photo showing that it meets the height requirement with a tape measure or a ruler, and then they cut it, and then they show an after photo, kind of with that same tape or ruler, to demonstrate that the work was performed. That's what we rely on, and that's what is missing in these particular cases.
Okay. So items 10 through 12 is all the same situation? Okay.
And if a good chairman, number 12 has a slight twist to it where the taxpayer was actually cutting the grass himself. And he provided pictures to Matt and Keith. Look, here's my proof, here's my pictures. Here's my son cutting the lawn on this day. And so the city again did not collect from the vendor for what he did.
Mr. Chairman, how our ordinance works and why that sometimes does occur is once it makes the cut list, we will continue to cut.
Right.
So it may be that they're cutting it also, but we will continue to cut it until they can come in here and have it removed from the list by demonstrating that they will cut it. So there is sometimes an overlap that occurs where you get people say, well, I cut it also, and, you know, it happens. But in this particular case, if we can't show the photos, then it's a difficult argument for us to win.
Councilman Dudley.
My question would be, what's the contractor, what's his response? Is he gonna go, well, I cut it, I want paid? Or because of a contract, he's not gonna get paid, he's fine with that?
He brought, yeah, I brought him to the DPW and I had a conversation with him, told him exactly what we're paying and not paying.
Okay, all right.
So we've had a conversation. There's a lot more to
I
the story, but,
Yeah.
they've been told they're not getting paid in email and face-to-face.
Okay.
So we'll just go ahead and do the consent contract.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, Mr. Markey, are these rentals?
Chairman, what was the question?
Rental homes,
Rental
are these
homes.
rental homes? Number 12,
don't know.
I know, we haven't got to 12, but I got a question on the other ones.
Yeah, I
You know, it
would
looks like the
have
owner's
to
name, you
check
know,
that,
is
I
a
did
different
not know
city
that
than the city of
immediately.
Taylor on number 10, so I was just curious if that was.
To the chair, and to the council, I can get answers for you.
Okay.
So look at the different addresses on the building, but.
We can look to see if they're homestead or non-homestead, and also if they're registered or not.
Would you know, would we be allowed to put something if they're different addresses? All right, we'll double check. Okay, we're gonna, is everybody comfortable with moving up 13? Yep, absolutely. Number 12, item number 12 is a motion to approve amending the 2018 winter special assessment roll by removing $1,160 in weed special assessment charges from 7665 Dudley per attached documents. Mr. Markey.
I know you said a little bit about this, but can you explain a little bit more about this one?
Yes, make sure I get the right thing.
Related to the tax or the ordinance itself?
Related to that, and also his comment about coming to the office desk or some desk, I don't know where it was at, and complaining about the person at the desk.
I'm not following you. Is that somewhere in an email or something, or?
No, it's in these things, so let's see. I highlighted it.
Oh, Mr. Chairman, it says I was denied at the front desk to see the officer.
Yes,
We do not allow officers to meet with these people, much like you don't allow police officers to meet with people that get tickets. They go through the court process if they want to contest it. We
so
will
this was at
not,
the police department, that's why I just wanted to know where it was at, who's the officer?
ordinance officer.
Oh, the ordinance.
Yeah, we will not allow people to meet with an ordinance officer because it ends up in a negotiation, and they're treated no different than a police officer. There is a process if they want to go to court and contest it, but meeting with the officer here at City Hall is not that process.
But the lady at the front desk was not, I mean, he was talking about being rude and all of that, you know, I was just wondering if that was checked into.
It's the first time I'm seeing that part of it, so I don't know. I will tell you, there's a little bit of a history with this particular organization. I don't know if you guys remember, some of you, Tim and Dan, I believe you met with these guys. They bought like a block of homes at some point in time, and 4 or 5 years ago, and there were like 12 or 15 homes, and we went through a similar process, and they promised to register them, they promised to keep them up, and they promised, and, you know, here we are cutting the grass for them, so.
And we did, me and Councilman Reserve met with them. They own many homes. A lot of things didn't pan out to where their headquarters address was a vacant building in Dearborn, and it was just real, you know, and we sent them, we told them at that meeting that, hey, we expect you to cut your grass and shovel your snow, and they said they would, so, but here we are again.
So is it our opinion that we should remove this? Is that what we're getting at? That we should remove it because he cut it and there was proof that he cut it?
No.
No? Okay, so explain.
Mr. Chairman, we are saying we should remove it because we are not paying the vendor because they did not follow the protocol that
So
was
it's the same
established.
situation. Whether he cut
That does not mean that we will not cut it again tomorrow, because if they don't cut the grass, we will. And then we will bill them accordingly. But in this particular case, we made a mistake and we need to rectify
We
it.
don't have the proof to basically back us up if we take them to court.
Okay, and there is somebody that's in the home now, according to one of these letters in here now too. It was vacant at the time, and now there is someone in the home. And so does that mean that are they off of the cut list? Did they come in and take their
Can't
name off
answer
the
that
cut
question,
list?
I don't know. we can find out. It's a rather simple process, but a lot of people don't do it.
Mr. Mayor, when we send the letter, the bill, basically, does it state in there that you will remain on the cut list?
Absolutely.
Okay, I just wanted to double check on that, so.
Yeah, but a lot of times you have the disconnect between tenant and landlord.
Right.
And so the landlord gets the letter and the tenant doesn't know what's going on because he didn't see the letter, so, but again, that's just a management responsibility that they need to, communicate better.
Any more questions?